don't make Harry Potter content, but I love logic puzzles. And I'm having this issue inside the Harry Potter world. I am no Harry Potter expert, but maybe y'all can help, I don't know, get me through this or understand what I'm trying to say. Or, I don't know, just check it out, see where I'm wrong, see where I'm right. Whatever you want to do. It's a logic puzzle, okay? So, what is going on for me is that on Google, it says that Voldemort's birthday is December 31st, 1926. And this video is about to go all kinds of different directions, but we're having his birthday as if he was born the last day of the year, 1926. Google also says that Tom Riddle Sr., the muggle who supposedly fathered Voldemort, was killed August 1943. Okay? We come to the book, and it's Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. We're in chapter 17. It's called A Sluggish Memory. I've got it on page 363. Dumbledore tells Harry, he says, in the summer of his 16th year, he left the orphanage to which he returned annually and set off to find his gaunt relatives. And he's talking about Voldemort, Tom Riddle. He's in his 16th year, okay? So 1926 to 27, 27 to 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43 is his 17th year. So, I am 99.9% sure Voldemort's birth year is actually 1927. And there's other things I'm about to present for this, but we understand 27 to 28, 28 to 29, 29 to 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. Okay? The summer of his 16th year. Now, Voldemort would have been 15 years old, but that is his 16th year. Okay? 27 to 28 is his first year. 28 to 29, and because Voldemort's born on the last day of the year, we can just say 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. Okay? 43, 1943 is his 16th year. He is 15 years old. Now, the actual point of this video is that we know Merope Gaunt is Voldemort's mother. She is 18 years old, still in the Half-Blood Prince. We're in chapter 10. It's called The House of Gaunt. And we have Bob Ogden's memory going to the House of Gaunt. We meet Merope. I'm pretty sure for the first time. I'm not a Harry Potter expert, okay? But she is 18 years old here. Google says she was born in 1907, so you add 18, it is 1925 for Bob Ogden's memory. The reason why we, the reader, think that Tom Riddle, the Muggle, fathered Voldemort is because Morphin, Merope's brother, caught her hanging out the window. And he cursed Tom Riddle. There was no... Tom Riddle had a whole Muggle girlfriend named Cecilia, okay? And Dumbledore, after they come out of the pensive from looking at Bob Ogden's memory, Dumbledore says, can you not think of any measure Merope could have taken to make Tom Riddle forget his Muggle companion and fall in love with her instead? Harry says the Imperious Curse or a love potion? Dumbledore says very good. Personally, I'm inclined to think that she used a love potion. So we have Dumbledore plus Morphin Gaunt. And from those two, we get Tom Riddle fathered Voldemort. Now, I understand Merope shows up to the orphanage in labor, and she says he is to be named Tom after his father, Marvolo after my father, and his last name is to be Riddle. All right? Now, if Merope Gaunt is a squib, she's magical blood, but she does not control or use her magic. She is a squib. And her father and her brother are so abusive to her all the way up until she is 18 years old, and they are locked up in Azkaban. She tastes freedom for the very first time at the age of 18 in the year 1925. By the end of 1926, she supposedly gives birth to Voldemort. But no, I think what she did was she ran off to the circus. That same circus that in 1927, after Grindelwald escaped from MACUSA following him being arrested by Newt Scamander, that circus. She's that woman. Nagini is who I'm saying, okay? The snake girl, the Maledictus, is Merope Gaunt. And there's not a whole lot to support that, but what I'm saying is Dumbledore is not a reliable source for Voldemort's lineage. Not in the way that it's being presented and interpreted thus far, okay? In same book, Half-Blood Prince, chapter 13, called The Secret Riddle, I've got it on page 266. Mrs. Cole, who runs the orphanage and watched Voldemort being delivered by Merope in 1927, I'm pretty sure, she says, we wondered whether she came from a circus. So I think what happened was that in May 1927, we see in Grindelwald, or Crimes of Grindelwald, we see Grindelwald escaped, and then a few months later, Grindelwald and Dumbledore and everybody's hunting down Credence Barebone at that point. We see Credence show up with Nagini, the Maledictus, at the circus. That Maledictus is Merope Gaunt. When at 18 years old, 2 years ago, her father and her brother had been imprisoned in Azkaban, she didn't have a place in the Muggle world. She also didn't have a real place in the magical world. So she ran off to the circus like, hey, I can transform myself into this snake and put on this show. And once she met Credence, she wasn't down for it anymore because she's really risking her life doing that, the transformation into the snake. So when we meet Nagini in Crimes of Grindelwald, her and Credence are already planning their escape from this circus, okay? And it's sometime summer of 1927, all right? I'm pretty sure Nagini, when we meet her in Crimes of Grindelwald, is pregnant with Voldemort. And Credence Barebone is in fact Voldemort's father. The Obscurial is Voldemort's father, because you don't get the most powerful dark wizard of all time. You just don't get that from a squib and a muggle. You can get it from a squib and an Obscurial all day long, all right? So Merope shows up at the Muggle orphanage December 31st, 1927, and she says that Voldemort is to be named Tom after his father, Marvolo after her father, and his last name is to be Riddle. Tom means twin. Shadoodle, you gotta stop. Tom means twin. If she's a squib and Voldemort's father is an Obscurial, which is, a different type of squib in a sense. He's powerful, but at the same time, he was trained to suppress his magic, not harness his magic. So he's definitely a magical being, but that magic is being obliterated inside both Merope Gaunt and Credence Barebone. And I'm not saying that Merope Gaunt didn't have a little thing that Morphin Gaunt had been picking up on for the Muggle Tom Riddle. I'm not saying that didn't exist, but what I'm saying is that for the first 18 years of her life, Tom Riddle would have been the most beautiful man in her entire life. Not her brother, not her father, not anybody else. Tom Riddle, because just a physically beautiful man who probably wasn't just a complete and total shitbag to her. But then she runs off to the circus, and I think she actually falls in love with Credence. And then Credence chose Grindelwald over her and the baby he must have been somewhat conscious of. That mind fucked her. So by the time she's giving birth at the very end of 1927, she is saying, name the kid Twin, because magically that's pretty much what Merope Gaunt and Credence Barebone were. They were magical twins. Name him Twin after my father, or after his father, Marvolo after my father, and Riddle simply because where did Credence Barebone come from? So in the first Fantastic Beasts, it's presented like it's Newt Scamander, okay? As if that's what we're talking about, is just Newt Scamander and the wizarding world 50 years, 55 years before Harry Potter comes along. I'm pretty damn sure Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the whole series, is Voldemort's Genesis story. Where did he come from, right? So the whole little series opens up with Newt Scamander in New York on Dumbledore's errand, knowing that he would end up in New York. Like, Newt walks us through all that. I'm telling you, Dumbledore is a scandalous ass man. So 1926, we meet Credence Barebone. We don't know who his parents are, but we know that Leta Lestrange's brother and Dumbledore's sister are on the same boat, and it sinks, and only one baby survives, and that baby is Credence Barebone, not Corvus Lestrange. And Credence Barebone ends up in the orphanage with the Muggle anti-witch woman, with the Obscurial taking root inside of him. So by the time I'm not sure how old he was, but I mean, he looks to be pretty damn grown. By the time he's there and he's an Obscurial, he's basically a whole wasted life. But where did he come from? Now, we know that Dumbledore and Grindelwald basically had a whole ass love affair where they even did a blood pact. And from this blood pact was that little, like, wire wrapping pendant looking thing. I think that is the womb for Credence Barebone. That's essentially his mother, okay? But Credence is the child of Grindelwald and Dumbledore, and Credence is the father of Voldemort. And we're just 1 year off, because even on Google says that Voldemort attended Hogwarts 1938 to 1945, coinciding with World War II. Now, I'm pretty sure August 1st is a reasonable first day of school for Hogwarts. And August 1st, not 1938, but 1939, because his birth year is 1 year off on Google. 1939 was his first day of Hogwarts, Voldemort's. So he's attending Hogwarts August 1st, 1939, the day that Hitler invades Poland in the Muggle world. Voldemort is Dumbledore's grandson. Dumbledore had an affair with Grindelwald, which means that Grindelwald is also Voldemort's grandfather. And Credence Barebone is the generation between the two. Nagini, who is Voldemort's snake, is Merope Gaunt, who is Voldemort's